Welcome students, I am Dr. Smita Sharma and I will continue linear applications of an operational amplifier. So in the previous lecture, the topics that were covered were linear applications of the operational amplifier, in which we had studied DC amplifier and AC amplifier, and we have studied summing, scaling and averaging amplifier using inverting configuration, that is when the inputs are applied to the inverting end of the operational amplifier. Now in this lecture we will discuss again summing, scaling and averaging amplifier using non-inverting configuration and differential configuration, that is when the inputs are applied at non-inverting end of the operational amplifier, and how can we make summing amplifier using differential configuration. So first of all, summing, scaling and averaging amplifier can be made by either of the three configuration: inverting, non-inverting and differential configuration, and they are useful, all three are useful in summing, scaling and averaging amplifier applications. So we'll take up non-inverting configuration. So the basic figure is as shown here. Here you can see that the inputs are applied, all the three inputs are applied at the non-inverting end of the operational amplifier. So we'll discuss this, how this circuit can behave as a summing amplifier or an averaging amplifier. This we will discuss. So if input voltage sources and resistors are connected to the non-inverting terminal, then such a circuit can be used as summing or averaging amplifier through proper selection of appropriate values of resistors. Such a circuit is shown in figure. Now in order to verify the functions of this circuit, output voltage must be obtained. So we'll try to obtain output voltage, and then we will decide whether this circuit acts like a summing amplifier or not. So in order to calculate the output voltage, first of all we will be required to calculate V1. V1 is the input voltage that is going inside the operational amplifier, and this is all three input voltages combine at this meet at this point V1. So this is node V1. So first of all we'll calculate what is V1. Now V1 can be calculated because here you can see here there are three input voltages, VA, VB and VC, and we have three resistors connected to it, and all three are connected again to the V1. So how can we calculate V1? V1 can be calculated very easily using superposition theorem. Now what is superposition theorem? Now superposition theorem simply says that for a linear system, the response in any branch of a bilateral linear circuit having more than one independent source equals the algebraic sum of the responses caused by each independent source. So following this principle, we calculate V1. So V1 is simply R by 2 R plus R by 2 upon R plus R by 2 into VA plus R by 2 R plus R by 2 into VB plus R by 2 R plus R by 2 into VC. So in this way we have calculated V1 using superposition theorem. Now on simplifying V1, we finally obtain VA plus VB plus VC upon 3. So V1 is simply equal to VA plus VB plus VC upon 3. Now we know we have to calculate output voltage. Now we, for a non-inverting amplifier, we have already calculated the gain is 1 plus Rf upon R1, where Rf is the feedback resistor. So following that formula, we can calculate the output voltage. That will be V naught equal to 1 plus Rf upon R1 into V1. V1 is the input voltage. So and we have calculated V1, so it comes out to be VA plus VB plus VC upon 3. So this is general formula that of the output voltage that we can calculate using this circuit as shown in the figure. Now with this we have calculated the general formula. Now we will see how this figure again can be obtained for a summing amplifier or an averaging amplifier. What conditions should be applied to it? So first we take up averaging amplifier. Now the equation that we had calculated previously shows that output voltage is equal to the average of all inputs times the gain of the circuit. So if by any means if we consider the gain of the circuit to be 1, then the output voltage will be simply the average of all input voltages. So its name is given averaging amplifier. Now depending on the gain can be given a specific value. If it is given 1, then it will simply be averaging amplifier, or it can be scaling amplifier according to the gain obtained by the circuit. So gain, whenever we know for a non-inverting configuration, whenever the gain is 1, then that configuration, that circuit is called voltage follower circuit. So if voltage follower circuit is used, then the output voltage is average of all input voltages, and this circuit behaves like an averaging amplifier. So here again we have simply written 1 plus Rf upon R1 equals to 1. Then, and putting the value of V1, we obtain the output voltage as VA plus VB plus VC upon 3. Now here we can discuss the basic difference between averaging amplifier using inverting configuration and non-inverting configuration. First of all, we see that no sign change or phase reversal occurs between the average of the inputs and the output in non-inverting configuration, but in inverting configuration, because of the inverting configuration, phase reversal occurs. Next is the non-inverting input voltage V1 is the average of all inputs, but in inverting averaging amplifier, the output is the average of all inputs with a negative sign. This is the basic difference between inverting configuration and non-inverting configuration. So what we see, that non-inverting input voltage is itself the average of all inputs, whereas in inverting averaging amplifier, it is average of all inputs. The output voltage is average of all inputs with a negative sign. So this is averaging amplifier. Now this circuit can also behave like a summing amplifier. We will discuss in next lecture. So again we make the same diagram, and now we will discuss the summing amplifier. Now this same circuit can behave like a summing amplifier if suitable conditions are applied. So if the gain 1 plus Rf upon R1 is equal to the number of inputs, the output voltage becomes equal to the sum of all input voltages. So if we take 1 plus Rf upon R1 in this case as 3, then what will happen? The output voltage will be simply VA plus VB plus VC, and that will, so this figure will in that case act like a summing amplifier. So here I have written 1 plus Rf upon R1. If it is taken 3, then output voltage will be simply VO will be VA plus VB plus VC. Hence the circuit is called a non-inverting summing amplifier. Now here also, for this non-inverting configuration, it should be remembered, or it should be taken into consideration, that offset null circuitry should always be used, or either offset null circuitry or offset null compensating network must be used along with this. Here in this figure, offset null circuitry is not shown, but in order to improve the accuracy of this non-inverting configuration or non-inverting amplifier, null circuitry should always be used. Now we will discuss the differential configuration. So in differential configuration, as shown in the figure, the inputs are applied at both inverting end and non-inverting end of the operational amplifier. So its basic application can be a subtractor or a summing amplifier. So we'll discuss both. First we'll discuss how this configuration can act as a subtractor. So by using a basic differential operational configuration, a subtractor or a summing amplifier may be constructed. So this figure shown here is the basic circuit of a subtractor. Now here input signals can be scaled to the desired values by selecting appropriate values for the external resistors. So by choosing proper values of external resistors, we can make this figure to act like a subtractor. Now if we are using different values of R, then it can act as a scaling amplifier. Now here in this figure, all external resistors are equal in value, so the gain of the amplifier is equal to 1. So is output voltage of the differential amplifier will be as we will calculate it in the coming equation. So the output voltage is here simply minus R upon R, because for an inverting configuration the output voltage is VO is equals to gain of the circuit into the input voltage. Now gain of the circuit will be minus RF upon R1, but here RF and R1 both are capital R. So putting minus R upon R, VA minus VB can be written. VA minus VB is simply the two input voltages that are provided at the inverting and non-inverting end. Now simplifying it, we get the output voltage is simply VB minus VA. So what this circuit is doing, this is simply subtracting the two input voltages and giving us the output voltages. Thus this circuit behaves as a subtractor. So the output voltage is equal to the voltage VB applied to the non-inverting terminal minus the voltage VA applied to the inverting terminal. So the circuit is called a subtractor. Now we will see how this differential configuration can act as a summing amplifier. Now for this, first we'll consider this figure. So in this figure, as you can see, we are applying two inputs VA and VB at the inverting end and VC and VD at the non-inverting end, and then we have calculated the output voltage. So we'll discuss how this output voltage comes out. So this circuit, we are saying that this circuit is a summing amplifier. First of all, we'll see how this is a summing amplifier. A 4-input summing amplifier may be constructed using the basic differential amplifier as shown in figure if two additional input sources are connected, one each to the inverting and non-inverting input. And here we should remember again the resistors, all resistors are taken to be capital R, that is all the resistors are equal in value. The output voltage equation for this circuit can be obtained again by using superposition and Thevenin theorem. This we will see in the next slide. So now the figure that we had made in the previous slide, we have redrawn this circuit and we have used the Thevenin theorem in order to simplify the circuit. So in order to find the output voltage due to VA alone, now what we are doing here, first of all we are trying to calculate output voltage when only VA is applied. In that case we reduce all other input voltages VB, VC and VD to 0 as shown in the figure A. Here we have reduced all three inputs VB, VC and VD to 0 and only VA is left. Then we Thevenize the circuit as shown in the figure B, and by so that we get a suitable Thevenin, on application of Thevenin theorem we get a suitable figure as shown in this circuit. If we observe it properly, it is an inverting amplifier and whose output voltage is VOA. Now what is VOA? VOA is simply the gain of the circuit into the input voltage. Now here gain of the voltage will be this is RF and this is R1. So gain of the voltage is minus RF upon R1. So here we can write R upon R by 2. So here VOA is equals to minus R upon R by 2 and the input voltage is, according to Thevenin theorem, it reduces to VA by 2. So here we have written VA by 2. Now simplifying it we get minus VA. So output voltage comes out to be minus VA. This is when the output voltage is calculated according because of VA alone, and we have reduced all other three voltages to 0. In the same manner we can calculate for VB, and it also comes out to be somewhat like this: VOB is equals to minus VB, because it has the same conditions as the VA voltage. Now we will calculate for VC and VD in the next slide. For this we have again taken the previous figure. Here we have already calculated the output voltages due to VA and VB, and now we will calculate the output voltage due to VC and VD. Now if input voltages VA, VB and VD are kept 0, the above circuit becomes a non-inverting amplifier in which voltage V1 is at the non-inverting input and its value is simply as we have just calculated using superposition theorem, it is V1 is equals to minus R by 2 upon R plus R by 2 into VC, and on simplifying we get VC upon 3. This means that the output voltage due to VC alone is VOC, and this we can write 1 plus RF upon R1. This is the gain of the circuit into input voltage. So here we can write 1 plus R upon R by 2 into V1. Now putting all the values and simplifying it, we get VOC is equals to VC. So the output voltage due to VC alone is simply VC. In the same manner, we can calculate the output voltage due to VD alone, and it will be equal to VD. Now, because we are applying all the four voltages, so output voltages due to all the four inputs will be VO is equals to VOA plus VOB plus VOC plus VOD. Now, putting the values of all these output voltages, we have minus VA minus VB plus VC plus VD. Writing it in a better way, we can see that the output voltage is equal to the sum of input voltages applied to the non-inverting terminal plus the negative sum of the input voltages applied to the inverting terminal. So in this manner, this differential configuration acts like a summing amplifier. So this is now we have discussed the summing, scaling and averaging amplifier using different configuration. In the next lecture, we will discuss how this operational amplifier can act as an integrator, a differentiator, and how it can be used as a used in an instrumentation amplifier. Thank you.